Welcome in, folks. We're not in deep space today. We are not looking for helium gas giants. We're doing an Easter egg hunt because that's what Elite has decided to make the CG. So I spent the last 12 hours hauling butt back into the bubble and getting everything set up so that I could be here. It's a lot of travel. There is zero paint left on the Caspian. But that's okay. It's sitting over at the biology system asteroid, and we popped into a Cobra just because it's much easier to get landed. Who all we got over here today? We've got Captain No Name, Munin Rob, Tranquila Mare. Welcome in. I see you guys were having fun sitting there waiting on the stream to start. Thanks for joining me, as always. It is a really pretty landing site. This plant is really interesting as far as the visual. I kind of like it. Beats the pants off Braintrees. But I do have to do this on the cold side of the planet. For anyone who's not doing the CG, the hot side of all these planets is absolutely miserable. You can't actually spend any meaningful time out on the planet's surface, so it's best to do it on the night side. And I don't have any night vision on any of my suits, but it does seem to be working well doing it in the dark side. Sorry, I just had a rat alarm going off. I need to just mute that for right now, because I will not be running any rescues. And there's plenty of people online right now, so that's no great loss. There we go. But yeah, the CG, man, people are hammering this one. So if you haven't done it and you have interest in doing it, I recommend you get on it. If we come over to Inari, you go under Galaxy, go check out Community Goals. If you're not in game, you can see whereabouts it's at, and the important ones are it will give you the tier, the contributions made, and the time left, as well as the estimated time until Inari predicts that the CG will finish. And if you're looking for a particular reward, it's handy to come over here and see what tier is how many contributions. I myself am going to shoot for 300. Technically right now that's top 50. But we've got some time to go, and I think that will leave me pretty solidly in the top 75. Which is where I want to be for the reward, which is a pre-engineered... what is it? Pre-engineered Maverick suit with improved damage resistance, battery capacity, backpack capacity, and ammo capacity. That's a pretty good suit. And if you're going to do the on-foot grind, it is... The way you do that is settlement raiding. You know, if you've never gone and done it, you go down, you land on a settlement, and you need the Maverick suit because it has the arc cutter, so you can cut open lockers and steal your duct tape or whatever you need for the suit engineering stuff. But it would be great to have a pre-engineered suit to help me do that. And honestly, I'm not crazy about doing a bunch of engineering. What else we got on the housekeeping list? If you rode the carrier over, it is jumping in about a minute left. Closest I could get was Coal Sector 359 MRT C48. And if you take a... Oh, it won't let me look at the map because I've got the jumps up. Yeah, that was the live stream thing. Anyways, it's... where is it? This one? Yeah. So it's not far. I mean, it's within one jump. Anybody in the squad or the squadron adjacent folks, if anybody wants to use Herschel as a base, it'll be parked there until we're done. If Frontier extends it, which they have been pretty apt to do lately, then it may be there a couple extra days, but it's there. It's a good base. It will be heading back to the Delta Squadron once we're done here. Probably into my own system. So while I've got Jim here in the bubble, I am going to run around and visit all of the colonized sites over there. If you were planning on taking one and haven't, and happen to know what system you're going to use, go ahead and throw that up in the chat. That way I can swing in there also, so that I can effectively jump the carrier, because I haven't been to any of those systems on Jim here, and he owns the carrier. So it makes it difficult to position it anywhere but at the star, because I haven't visited the system yet. So the basic mechanics here are we're looking for the little glowy seed pods. We're going to shoot them. They're going to drop their little alien eggs, and then we're going to collect those eggs. It's pretty straightforward. Your suit backpack, depending on which one you're wearing, will hold so many of them. And then you go back to your ship or your SRV and you dump your inventory out and you get back at it. Once you have hit all the pods, which I think I have here, I'm not seeing any, then you can do one of two things. You can either head back to Super Cruise and go to a different location, or you can use the old tried and tested, log out to the main menu and start again. You can guess which one I'm going to do. And for anyone that's not in the private group, that is the private group, Delta1246. It will automatically accept your request, and the only rule is no non-consensual PvP. But we have lots of people in there. It's not just Delta Squad folks, so by all means, feel free to join us. Yeah, Trank's over there. I forgot I was in Discord. I should probably get back with those guys, too. Let's see. I've got Andy and Tranquila in Discord with me. Completely forgot I had popped out of Discord and started the stream and then just got rolling. Suddenly remembered. Oh, yeah. So that's the seed pod we're looking for. And we're just going to give it a few pops. As you can see, a seed comes flying out. So does some debris, which has knocked me off those platforms. And if I get it to sit still here, you'll see I've got 0 out of 20 that I can fit in my backpack. Now I've got 1. That's pretty much the game loop we're looking at. Doesn't matter what you shoot at it with. I've honestly been using the rifle because I find it kind of fun. Ooh, yeah. Cats and their rather stringent food requirements, Rob. I wish you the best, sir. I know our cats seem to think that if they aren't fed, they will consume the owners in lieu of cat food. But yes, that's what we're doing, and now it's just a matter of finding them. I've got about 100 collected already, so I need to get about 200 more, which works out to 10 trips in the Artemis suit, which isn't terrible. I will probably do some odds and ends engineering while I'm in town, so to speak, before I head back out. I see they did release the next Distant Worlds waypoint, although I didn't see where it was, and I'm kind of confused, to be honest. Reading the FleetCon Discord, they're talking like we've got an awful lot of ground left to cover, and I was under the impression that the expedition was essentially over at the end of April. I personally wouldn't call 3 more weeks worth of travel, so 3 more waypoints, a lot of distance, but I may be malinformed. I guess we'll see as we go. I'm personally kind of ready for it to be over. I'm fairly not tired of exploring, because I don't think I'll ever get tired of exploring, but I am tired of like chasing around the fleet. I've got projects of my own kind of queued up that I would very much like to be working on instead. Unfortunately, I don't want to scarper off and be done with Distant Worlds until it's actually over. Partially because I want the decal, and partially because it seems just right. Like, I wouldn't feel right if I had, like, started and gone and done, like, one waypoint and then went and scanned the beacon to get the decal. It doesn't really sit with me. I do feel like I've earned it now, but at this point I might as well finish. So, we'll see. But we're going to get these. We're going to try and get that suit reward. Make a few minor tweaks on the Caspian. I would like to swap out my heatsink launchers for serious ones, and perhaps my fuel limpets for a grade A. I think I have a grade, or no, I've got a rescue controller on there right now. which honestly I may keep. It's not the recommended RAT module. They would recommend a 5A fuel limpet controller just for the range it provides, because if you get into a code red situation, the faster you can start launching limpets, i.e. the further away from the client you are when you can start doing so, usually the better. But as a side ratting ship that is primarily an explorer, I feel like I'm actually better served by the rescue controller. It's a touch heavier, it doesn't have nearly the range, but what it does do is provide both repair and refuel limpets. Neither one of them at the same level their dedicated controllers would. Boy, I wish I'd get over there just a skosh sooner. I don't know. I might have to look. It might be worth putting one of each of those controllers on dedicated instead. I do have a slot or so hanging about. I see a Mandalay. Who is that? Yeah, Captain, I'm with you. The VR experience on foot is disappointing, I think is the polite way to say it. I don't do a ton of it, though. After Distant Worlds kind of ties up, and we'll see what we've got going there. I can tell you I won't be doing on-foot content with controller. Other than exobiology, it lacks all of the fine control I need for aiming. Welcome in, Drake. There's enough seed pods to go around. As long as we both relog at the same time, we should be fine. Yeah, being on the dark side's been very helpful. I did one on the daylight side, and that was a pretty miserable round. Lots of... Oh, come on. Lots of hiding in the shadow of things and still not really getting done any good work. I think this would be an excellent time to mention that I absolutely detest platform games. I was never a platform runner kind of guy. And sometimes these things will actually explode and take you right off the top of the flower, so I've taken to kind of hiding behind one or being on a different platform. I find either one does a good job.
Definitely, I got knocked like several hundred feet. Took massive damage when I shot one.
If you're falling like that, if you throw your shield on before you hit the ground, you'll take a little less damage anyways.
I had a med kit, so...
First-person controls on a console. I was muted. How about that? That's not gonna work. I need to change that mute key.
I'm using a different gun, the one with the plasma, and it shoots them quick.
Yeah, I haven't tried any of the plasma guns, and I know I'm not answering you in Discord. It's because I have my push-to-talk key and my
Mine
mute
does
key.
a really good job, I found.
Let's try that. Why does OBS insist on making this window so big? There we go. Taking a few shots per, but I'm still enjoying it. There we go.
Yeah.
That's better. Sorry about that, folks. I had my push-to-talk key and my mute key bound to the same button for whatever reason. So I'm back. Not sure how long I was waffling on there. Yeah, the kinetic weapons aren't doing great. I just like the sound.
Oh yeah, the sound is fun.
They've changed it pretty significantly. They didn't used to sound that good. That is quite the improvement. That it does, Rob. A simple hotkey swap is definitely preferential to a shorted out cable somewhere. I've done my fair share of that too. I've done a handful of like live audio setup and mixing and things like that. And it is setup can be fun, you know, when you've got, especially if you got a snake or something and it's got a bad wire in the middle somewhere and you got to figure out, you know, which port's out, or God forbid you've got like a drum machine that's outputting into a snake, and then, you know, you've got to go through each channel on the drum mixer only to discover it's completely fine and the issue is in the snake and not the drum mixing board up on stage or something. I may try the plasma pistol just for giggles. The noises associated with these plants are ever so slightly creepy, in a good way. I've been out in the black just a little too long, I think. That can be the case, or you've got the mute on the board set and bumped it, didn't realize. I was always a fan of Mackie boards, and they've got those little per channel mutes for just for quickly killing a channel and not sliding the slider down. I almost always did the slider move instead, because when I first dabbled in live sound mixing, I was always on older equipment that didn't have those little luxuries. But as a consequence, I also never thought to check the mute keys until I was, you know, 20 minutes into a troubleshoot and getting quite agitated that I couldn't find the issue, only to discover there was literally no issue other than a keybind pressed. So I guess that's pretty on brand for me to do that here. I see an SRV. But I don't see a Tranquila. There is a Tranquila in the wild here somewhere. Gotcha. Not rolling off the edge of this flower petal, bud. Get up high, see if I can see any more. I think we probably about got it cleaned up for that round. And I thought about it, you know, I haven't really used the plasma weapons since the sound update, so I do want to try those out and see if they've made any changes to their sounds, 'cause it didn't even occur to me they might have. Oh, that's the best little collection of them I've seen so far. All neatly in a little pod there, just waiting on me. I get used to that kind of treatment. Can't remember if this one dropped 1 or 2. Dropped 2, the other one went flying somewhere. It was 2. That is a nice change of activity, though. This isn't something I've ever done, in terms of the mechanics, anyways. Nice little Easter egg hunt. I'm trying to think of what would have been the last thing they did with that kind of mechanic in play, and I can't think of a single one. I'm also starting to wonder if these seed pods are regenning while we're still in the instance, without making us log, because they do seem to be appearing. Alright, where'd the other 2 from this one go? Yeah, I bet they... Oh, there's one. Pretty sure there were 3, though. I wonder if it's up there on that other, flower petal. Nope. Nobody here but us chickens. Yeah, who knows? And it feels good to be down on a planet doing something other than jumping. I feel like I've spent an awful lot of time staring at the Spanch screen. For those who were not hanging out in Discord kind of tracking the process, let me real quickly here show you what it was I was doing. Welcome in. That is one Stim Dealer in the voice chat. Is my overlay showing? It is. Okay.
How goes the community goal?
Rapid. Let's see. So I started out... Actually, you know what? I've got bookmarks for this kind of thing. Started out here. Oh, no. Stop that. I just wanted to add a 95. So I started out 51,000 light years away. And then I didn't take a straight path. So I was way up here in the Fomorian frontier. And my first leg took me over to the distant suns located here. Just so I could say I visited that distant world's waypoint. And then I booked it all the way back to the bubble for the community goal. And then, like I said before, I didn't want to set a jump. We'll be doing some visiting around out here in the squadron, just so we can kind of get things squared up for the carrier jumping. But there's also going to be some odds and ends that need done. I need to check on my modules and make some minor tweaks that have been bugging me. I think we're out of things to shoot at, though. You see any more out there, Trank? I think we've hit them all here.
No, I got interrupted, so I'm gonna have to jump out. I don't see anything.
Alright, I was gonna log the menu and back.
I'm logging in and back. I'm probably in a different location anyway.
NPC rats. What do you mean by NPC rats? Pirates? For the most part, they're only going to spawn in populated systems. I don't know that I've seen them out in the black. In fact, I'm pretty certain I've not seen them out in the black. We don't do pirates here. We do fuel rats here. No pirates. I do like that pistol. Grab that fella. Did I shoot the egg? Or did I just knock it off the edge here? Knocked it off. I didn't feel like I pumped it that hard.
So, I haven't done any Odyssey stuff in a while. The CG you guys are doing, is that just exploration based, or is there like ground?
I also have a stream up. It's basically an Easter egg hunt, though. Oh, we're full up.
Cool looking planet.
Very much so. Yeah, it's a neat plant, at the very least.
Yeah. Jumping puzzle while you're running around trying to find your seeds or whatever.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a platformer. Alright, let's try a different weapon just for giggles. If I board, everything should go to the ship anyways.
I hadn't thought of it that way, but yeah.
I do want to stay in the Artemis suit. Let's see. Oh, I have to select it. That's right. It's been a while since I did any of this. I haven't tried that yet. Let's try that for the kinetic.
Grab the Mandalay and head that way.
And the old Tormentor. That's one of my favorite handhelds, is the plasma-based ones.
Getting frustrated with stationaries anyway, trying to load up my rocket to launch and
The actual Elite. What do you mean,
evaporate and
chaotic?
pressure, and I already blew it up once.
This is the on-foot part of Elite that you probably don't see a ton of. A lot of Elite is out in space. It is. There are planets you can land on, though. Lots of them. But this is kind of a special case. This is a dev-placed planet. This particular biology structure doesn't spawn out in the black or anything. Yeah, see, that's awful quiet compared to the kinetic weapons. So I don't feel like they really changed it. That seems about like it always has. Nice that it's a one-shot deal, though. That is wondrous. It's raining eggs.
Eggs falling.
Now I'm gonna have It's Raining Men stuck in my head.
Oh, if somebody did a Boeing parody of that song, it was hilarious.
Did you just steal my
I made it rain eggs first. Yeah, most of them are little shrubs. Or bacteria spots or something. This is kind of story content, so for anyone who hasn't been following, of course they're getting ready to release Operations, and there's all sorts of speculation on what some of the new mechanics they're going to introduce are. One of the big contenders in the tinfoil world is that these plants are going to lead to like an Operations-specific buff system for on-foot combat. Because they had this new plant discovered, and then they had a CG to collect plant scans of it to do the biology assessment. And then there were a bunch of just goofy articles about Big Ace Ventura, and basically one of the in-universe characters went on a health craze and decided he was going to hike the rainforests and all that. So that's kind of what spawned the idea that these were going to be
This might take a while.
some kind of buff mechanic.
Or in the- change.
But now they've released another article. The effect of it is that, oh, some of these are blooming now and we need samples of the seed pods. So that's what they've got us out collecting now. We'll see where it lands. But that's why this is a little different than most of the proc-gen stuff you find out in the galaxy. Some of them are pretty wild, though. There's quite a few different biology types, and many of them that you'll never see around the bubble, or even within 5,000 or 6,000 light years of the bubble. I have seen some odd things out in the black. Let's try the SMG out here, see how it does. Man, I don't feel like that sound's changed much either. No! Playing soccer with the eggs. This is not going to plan. Stop, stop, stop! Oh, this is why I didn't play sports. Shit like that right there. I do think it's kind of fun, though, that they basically gave us an Easter egg hunt for Easter. That's a bit of fun. Which, you know, I've always been pretty satisfied. You know, they do the Sandra's Presents Run at Christmas and stuff like that, so they do make an effort to keep things kind of relevant to, you know, the current season, that sort of thing. I don't think this is the gun. I think the plasma pistol is the way to do this CG. Not that it really matters, you know. What's a few extra shots? Whew, just barely caught that ledge. Oh, there's not a platform there. I thought there was one up and above to my left. Not the case. I am looking forward to getting more into the on-foot combat. I did run a few matches, and the tweaks they made to the AI in the last couple patches really have made a difference there. It's still pretty arcadey. It's still going to be a case where human players can fairly easily dominate in an NPC-only combat zone, but if you wanted to do it in open and face other commanders, it's certainly... they would make better background noise than they used to, I'll put it that way. There's a wild Tranquilla mare.
Shooting the same plants now.
That was a pretty good shot. I'll take credit for that one. No, you don't. Gotcha. Yeah, not gonna recover that.
Oh shit.
You can drop some seed pods in there. I won't mind.
Do you see any more?
I saw one more seed pod. Two more seed pods. Stop moving. Yep, grenade out, duck. That was quite the accident. I just realized I never threw your link in there.
I saw one over here.
I should go check out Chaotic too. She does all sorts of interesting things and has fun over on her channel too. Definitely give her luck. Yeah, I dropped the right one. Just had to look. Ooh, about full again. That's what I like to see. You are very welcome, darling. I appreciate you coming over and spending some time here. Now I think we got them all.
I need to hit the menu.
Yep, I do too. I'm actually going to go turn in, because I should have enough now to be... Yeah, I'll give it one more round. I want to, like, establish that I'm in 25, and then everything after that can be padding. Of course, I accidentally hit open, so I get to do this twice now. Hopefully there aren't on-foot gankers waiting on just such a mistake.
Are you playing an open?
I accidentally hit open, yeah. I really wish it wasn't the first option.
Might get a shotgun to the face. Be ready.
That's kind of half what I expected. I got right back out, though.
I've already got 80.
Get this guy go.
I don't have that many at work.
I could put them in normal. I think I have to get like 300 or so for 75%.
I am shooting for 300.
Be like 100, 170 minimum, and then like, yeah, you really want to pad this.
Yeah, right now in ours saying 120 to 239 for top 70, so I'm going for 300. Because it's already at 87% done. Unless they extend it, which, you know, 50-50 odds on that. Actually, I want to change out that weapon while I'm in here. Once again. Let's try the other guns, the ones I hate.
That egg went flying. I don't know where
I don't want that.
I don't even know where it went.
Is that a pistol? Oh, I only have the pistol for that one. That makes sense. I don't really care for him. We'll give this a try, though. Oh, God, I got that audio bug. Oh, no, it went away. Okay. Thank God. There's an audio bug. For whatever reason, sometimes when you go into the loadout menu, if you click to it too fast, it gets stuck on that ticking noise, and it just, oh, it's diabolical. I like that.
What is
The sniper rifle is exceptionally effective at hunting these eggs.
what kind of egg?
That is the Manticore Executioner. It's basically the sniper rifle. Perhaps a bit overkill, but...
Yeah, I've got the pistol version. It does wonders.
Yeah, I was using the pistol. I just swapped over to the Zenith, I think it is. It's that one set of weapons I absolutely detest, but I figured I'd give it a try. Yeah, that thing's garbage. We'll try it again up close, though. Because honestly, that was a respectable distance. There's a good
Check.
good candidate there. Yeah, that would be a wonder if I could just pop them and then zip them back in. There are, in fact, bugs in Elite on occasion. The Eclipse or whatever here, this little pistol does also one-shot them. Well, 3-shot, but 1 trigger pull, you know what I mean. We're going to stick with the sniper rifle, because let's be honest, that was way more fun. And the sound was way better. Nah, Chaotic, there's plenty of bugs. One of my favorite bugs is the infamous green gas giants. Where the color picker screws the pooch, and it ends up just being a neon green moon. Or a neon green gas giant, rather. I do kind of wish I could just reach out and zzz, yoink. That would be way easier than running all over chasing these things down, that's for certain. But what are you gonna do? It's Elite. Really expect that one to hit. Kind of expected that one to.
Just don't shoot me.
Honestly, those shots move pretty slow. You could probably dodge them if I did.
Yeah, Velocity is insultingly slow.
It really is. It's hard even to get a good hit on an NPC with this thing. But it does sound good.
So that's far out there. 12 kills for me.
Is that you watching Rat Chat? Or are you talking
Yeah,
about the
I was
CG?
talking the CG.
'Cause you said that right as a rat alert came through.
Oh, no, I don't know.
I had hopes there for a minute. Ah, no, 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 no. Missed it.
I might look into if there's any update to our policies for the seals.
There you go. Yeah, I keep meaning to look to see if we do the... I know seals take drilled rats on an expedited training, and I think we offer the same thing. I just keep forgetting to look and make sure. It's something similar, I think. That's just so satisfying. This might be the most fun I've ever had with the sniper rifle. Ooh, yes. Backpack limpets. That's an idea, Rob. I'm gonna need you to put that on a forum post somewhere. Backpack limpets. That would be great for everything. That would make, like, farming brain trees and stuff way easier, too.
I guess when I'm done, I'll just catch it right on your carrier back.
Yeah, more than welcome. That's what I brought it down for. This is why I don't play FPSs with controller. One should be able to hit a stationary target. More to the point, a stationary target that has absolutely no intention of moving. Pull up. Alright. Where's the old ship here? Alright, I'm gonna go turn in this batch, and I'll be back down in a minute. We are headed to an asteroid station up around that ringed gas giant.
Landing gear retracted. Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
This hyperspace jump can take a while to load.
Yeah, mine took a minute too. They're just jumping out of the atmosphere.
Must be in prime time right now. I guess it's Sunday evening.
Yeah, it's Sunday evening. Everyone's getting their elite fix on.
Now all the Easter festivities are probably done.
I slept. That was my Easter festivity. I intended to stream around 5 o'clock and do like a nice long session, and I laid down at like 1:30 or something and didn't wake up till almost 6. It was glorious.
Love that.
Well, I did the math and realized it didn't feel like I worked a 60-hour week last week, and I didn't because of the way our week split, but I did work 60 continuous hours, whether they fell on the same week or not.
Oh, right, yeah. Your body's not going to be like, oh, no, it's a new work week. Fully energized now.
Exactly. Man, I wish management understood that. You walk in Saturday morning, they're like, all right, new week, let's get going. And we're all like, screw you, this is day 6. I made the mistake of getting back on the overtime list, not realizing that it was going to fall starting Wednesday of my long week. So, live and learn, I guess. Why am I not SCOing? Did I not put an SCO drive on this? Surely I didn't goof that up. I sure did. Okay, we're gonna look at changing that, I guess. While we're down here, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, I'm not moving the throttle to the blue zone. Not yet, anyways. We'll get there. We'll do our lazy Super Cruise Assist thing. All the gravity wells, SCO would have been very helpful here. I do like the idea of backpack limpets. That is phenomenal. Let's see if it works. Ah, it got me. Alright. Thought I might have pushed my luck a little bit on that one.
LAC Juliet India Mike. This is flight control. Please note that access to the station is by authorization
Oops.
only.
Too soon.
Decrease distance to 7.5 kilometers. Request approved. Clear for
I do love the Cobra 5. I think I'm definitely going to kit one of these things out for exploration. Not before I head back out, because then I'd have to wait for it and pay for it, and that just doesn't seem worth it. But once DW's over, I'll probably kit one up. I think I got like 70 light years out of one, which is plenty respectable.
automated docking approved. You may
Right.
now hand over control.
Wasn't quite what I wanted to do, but if you're going to fix my alignment there for me. Sort of. Fighting autodock is always fun. 29. I suppose I can let auto take over from there.
Gear deployed.
Honestly, that would be a cool mechanic, Rob, even if it was just to, like, empty your SRV cargo back to your ship. Just dispatch it on a little drone copter.
Report to station services
That would be
for
pretty
more
nifty.
information, Commander.
So here's the other part of the CG. We have to come back and hand in these seeds. And you do that at a special contact here, the Science and Research
I've got the
contact.
Manticore tormentor.
Yeah, that was the handheld I was using. I was having a lot of fun with that. So we're here, we're gonna... I had trouble last time I stopped in here. For whatever reason, getting this interface to cooperate.
This is a plasma gun. Black. Weak.
That sounds like a tormentor.
Okay, I think so. I couldn't remember what it was called.
There we go. I don't know what it is about this specific contract screen. It just doesn't want to work right with my HOTAS controls. So that should put me in the top 25. Let's take a gander here. Or top 75. Yep, it did. Outstanding. And as you can see, we're almost to tier 9. I don't think they really counted on the activity. Hey Pete, welcome in. You guys should check Pete out too. He also does elite content. One might argue far better content than I. Yeah, I wanted to do it because I do not have any on-foot engineering done. And I thought having a pre-engineered map is when I get back from Distant Worlds. So I actually flew all the way back just to do it. Let's see, it was 30,000 light years or thereabouts to the Distant Worlds fleet, and then another 48 back, so somewhere right around 80,000 light years traveled just to come do this. A little silly, and when you think about it. So this doesn't come with an SCO drive, and they don't sell an SCO drive. But I can bring one over from my carrier. It'll just be here the next time I come back. Which, to be honest, will probably be when I'm done with it anyway, so I don't know that it matters. Now that I've made top 25, everything I do after this is just padding, so I won't have a reason to come turn in again. Go ahead and get rid of these. While we're launching, let's check and see if anybody needs let into the squadron. If anybody's looking for a home, we are always taking applicants. And looks like we don't have any. Do we have any that are waiting on acceptance? Nope. Everybody's in. We are the Deltavine, this goofy group. Curious about our leaderboards for exploration. Where are we at? I guess I could have just looked on the standing page where it started me. Number 459. We are rapidly moving up in system colonization, though. And we're awful high in black market trade, number 137. I did some black market trading just to unlock an engineer on my hull. I wouldn't have thought it was enough to trigger that, though. And I'm just going to do this way because I struggled last time getting on the right planet. From the nav panel, anyways.
You are clear of the station. Flight control, signing off.
I might be clear of the station, but I ain't clear of the asteroids yet. Let's get up above those.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
It is nice to have a couple days off and be able to really sink my teeth into some Elite. I've been missing that the last couple days because I haven't had a lot of playtime in the evenings. Thursday, I think I made it a grand total of an hour. I made about 20 jumps on my trip to the waypoint before turning this direction, and that was it. I was falling asleep at the sticks. And honestly, I didn't even work all that hard last week. Most of my overtime was standing in the office putting together other routes. It wasn't even carrying extra walking mail. Although it was Saturday. I had 2 extra hours of walking. Where's you out in a hurry? I had no will to live Saturday when I woke up, and that was not a situation that improved at all. Usually spend Saturdays on the phone with Mom just catching up, and I remember I got to my first spot after my businesses, and I just said, man, I don't want to get out of this truck. Is it too late to go home sick? But I figured I was already there. I'd already driven in, and it isn't a short drive for me, so I might as well get some work done. And it worked out. I mean, I got my route pretty cleaned up, which means my sub will have nothing to gripe about tomorrow. We had a ton of door-to-door mail last week. It was silliness.
Orbital flight engaged.
And some of them included like the same ads twice and things like that. Like these bulk advertisers don't pay attention. They just throw money at the problem, I guess. I'm not 100% sure this is the right biosite, but we're going to find out here in a minute. Not that it matters, but it was fun being in the same one with the other guys. Backpack limpets. I'm a big fan of that idea, I ain't gonna lie. Then I could just run around blowing up seed pods to my heart's content. I do wonder how many of these the top contributors have collected and sent in, because it's, if it's needing, well, I guess an hour would tell me that, wouldn't it? Take a quick peek here. Yeah, 3,500 to 8,000 is the top 10 commanders, so those folks have been working a little harder than I'm willing to, and I don't think I found the right one here. I don't see any other ships. Yeah, well, we'll try again next time. I either did an instance with you guys, or I just went to the wrong one, so I guess we'll try again next time.
Landing gear deployed.
I'm going to try something a little different, though. I'm going to take the... Oh, I never put an SRV. I put a bay in, but I didn't put an SRV in. That's not helpful. I was going to park my SRV in the middle so I didn't have to walk so far. Small mercies, though. So we're at, what, 130 contributions? Should have looked at that before I got out of the ship. $184 is mine. I want 300, so we need to do at least 5 or 6 more trips. So we'll knock that out, and then I guess we'll see what we get into. I'm not going to keep grinding this more than necessary. I do have limited time in the bubble on this character right now, and there are certainly some other housekeeping things I could take care of. One of them is I'm considering a new paint job for my carrier. I can only do that while I'm present on the carrier, so I was kind of salty learning that when I had extra arcs in my pocket and wanted to do it out in the black, and it said must be in person, basically. I also have the extra funds now. I think we're going to swing through a administration system on the way back out to the squadron and go ahead and put the last missing modules on Herschel so that it's a fully fit out carrier. It's going to be the support carrier for the expedition I'm planning.
Planet in my
I put it in chat. I can't remember which one I've been on, but I think I ended up at the wrong site. The site is 2B Moon A. We're on the dark side.
Gotcha.
The nice thing about 2BA is it stays dark for a long time. The other planet, First Moon, they get light quick.
I didn't even think to look at the.
That is a really pretty sight. So you're inside between the ring and the planet.
Honestly, 2B looks even better. It's got a rotational of 12.7 days and an orbital of 2.6 days.
Yeah, 2B is pretty nice.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's good enough to get the job done, I think, for me. I ain't too worried about it.
This 2 has a heavier gravity.
It's
Ah.
a quarter gravity. No, 1/5 gravity. It's 2.21.
Okay, so it's like this one. I thought it was bigger, so I thought, well, it's gonna be harder to get into the trees.
Okay, I'm hating this gun a little less as I use it for this particular purpose. It's horrible for actual combat, though. Like, if you look at the shot spread, it jitters all over the place. It's absolutely horrible. It's got the effective range of a shotgun, only if you're that close, you're probably going to eat it.
Yeah, it's terrible aim.
Trying to catch that one in the air. Didn't work. Let's see how we're going. That's good to know. If it does miss even a single shot, it won't be enough to pop the pods. Good to know. I wonder if it does any better ADS. A little bit. It's a little bit less spread anyways. Not enough that I'm a fan of it, that's for sure.
I just asked.
It's very possible. Oh, why didn't I think of that? I guess I could have just went down on the team signal instead of looking for the biology site. I'm a goofball. Been out in the black too long. I'm used to there being other people around. Ooh, we missed that one. I wish they would all reliably fly off and fall so I didn't have to try and do both on the ground and on the platform, but I suppose that would be just a little too easy. There's our 20. Let's go drop those off.
I got the Karma AR-15 and a Manicore Tormentor on my Maverick suit.
The Tormentor will be the easiest one shot. The 50 uses like 7 or 8 shots to get the same job done, but it sounds good. Yeah, it does seem to be have a little bit of recoil, doesn't it? For a laser pistol, that does seem odd.
Just a tad.
Alright, let's get rid of this garbage pistol while we're here. Is there another gun other than the rocket launcher I have to try here? I suppose we could try the rocket launcher, but that seems pretty silly. So I guess we're going to rock the plasma loadout, because that seems to be by far the most effective.
Because I cleared this instance out, and I don't know if it refreshed. I think it came in just as I was leaving.
Rob, all of the plasma variants, the Executioner and the Tormentor, are both excellent against NPCs. Yeah, I would agree with Pete, though. The overall, the AR-50, especially once you get some engineering on it, is by far the best option. If you're starting out brand new, though, the plasma weapons are a good choice.
Andy's Aftermath.
I feel like that should be a bumper sticker. Hey! Arcanic over here, driving and listening. I do that a lot, brother. You guys should go check him out. He is the resident hunter of the green gas giants. I was watching him do some Subnautica this morning. That was fun. Kind of got me itching to play it again. Maybe in VR. I don't know how I feel about that, though.
Yes, is there a scanner? Odyssey.
You don't need to scan for these. You're just going to go to the biological sites, and then you're looking for like the glowing eggs, and those are the ones you're going to shoot. Yeah, all the plasma weapons have that really good sound. I will say, I've spent a few minutes in Subnautica in VR, and it's not as well optimized, for one, as Elite. It was definitely loading up my PC a lot more. But it also made me fairly queasy, and I don't know if that's just the first-person aspect of it, because I'm kind of used to Elite, where you're fused into the pilot chair most of the time. And when you're not, it's effectively emulating a flat screen. So I suspect that may be some of it. I also haven't been using VR quite as much lately as I was when I first got it. And if you're not keeping it, yeah, you almost have to like keep conditioned for it. And the less you use it, the less conditioned you are against that kind of VR motion sickness that goes about. Not that I get it terribly, but I do notice if I'm not playing it heavily, it's more of a problem.
Kick that one around a bit for a second.
Yeah, I've been playing soccer with some of mine.
So they're spamming E and like, get in the fucking inventory.
Yeah, they seem a lot more interesting today.
Yeah, I think the head bob might have been part of it. I really enjoyed the game, though, and I kind of would like to play through it. And I wasn't, like, even on a base. I was somewhere. I just logged in to see how it looked. It's essentially the extent of the VR I've done in Subnautica. And I was sitting somewhere deep on my Cyclops, and it just... oh no, I've gotten wedged in a plant here. Oh no, somebody in our Discord had this exact problem. Let's try logging the menu, I guess. I'm not in danger, I'm just wedged in a plant. But yeah, I do remember the head bob being pretty significant in Subnautica. I started playing Absolute Zero not long after I beat it, and I enjoyed it a little bit I played, but the problem was I just dumped like 150 hours into Subnautica for the second time. So I was a little burnt out. Didn't really, didn't stick, so I only kind of just started the storyline. But I guess that means I've got a whole nother game to play still. Which is always nice. I do find that Subnautica's got good replayability, which is always good. especially with the base building. You know, you can always do something a little different or prioritize something in a different way to make your playthroughs significantly different. There's that weird noise again. They make such a weird, creepy, squelchy noise. Like a gas leak, only with a wet cloth involved somewhere. It's just... it's a very strange sound. Alright, am I losing my marbles? Did I not just shoot one over here? Where's my seed pods? I want my Easter eggs.
375
Nice.
Very nice.
How many do you have, Andy?
375.
This is so bad on controller. And I'm not a great FPS player, but holy crap.
Yep.
I suppose if I like ran it through Joystick Gremlin, I could probably get some proportional turn rate response and stuff like that out of it, but as it's just stock the way it is, it's pretty rough. Is that the eggs making those noises? It might be. And those things are creepy. There's the next 20. I've made it quite some distance from the ship here. Hopefully I'm not dropping a bunch of frames. I see OBS is reconnecting and disconnecting. Back on its bullshit. It is, however, not telling me I've got to drop frames. So hopefully things are smooth on your guys' end.
16 so far.
Better get to work here, bud.
Just start.
Sounds an awful lot like excuses to me.
Yeah, I was just saying the same thing. It's just excuses, man. I just started. My back's broken. I haven't eaten in 5 days. Oh, excuses.
I flew 70,000 light years to do this, and you were right here in the neighborhood.
It's just egging me off. I know they're seeds, but they look like eggs.
Good fun.
Now, doesn't that all kind of remind you of the egg?
Yeah, that's fair, Rob.
This movie before.
Maybe we shouldn't be collecting these things.
Right?
Crispy, don't wait too long. It's moving right along here on the progress counter. And chaotic, best thing I could say, and I'm sure you already know this, but go in small doses. You know, try 30 minutes one day or for 2 or 3 days, and then, you know, add 15 or something until you build your tolerance back up for VR. That's the best way to do that. Because you don't want to play... You don't want to play it so much that you get sick and then you've got a bad taste in your mouth. That was a new and different noise.
Just like the crystal fields.
Speaking of, I don't know if you heard, but I did try, and you cannot, in fact, do the flak cannon mining on those. Blaming Loki.
I think they're just tied into the SRV, right?
Yeah, that's the only real way to do it. I was hoping, because like with the brain trees, I know your limpets get stuck on them, and that's what screws them up. So I was hoping, since there was nothing to get stuck on, that would still work, but it doesn't. At least not. I'm glad I thought about that, because I need to throw a 5A collector on my Caspian so I can try that with the better range. I'm running a 5D right now. So I'm not going to call it dead yet, but I'm fairly certain it's not going to work. I'm just trying every effort before I declare it dead again.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure they're even able to run things that you know, the launch foot high.
That was a nice save. Hopefully I chest bumped that egg enough. I did not. Nope, nope. Got it. Let's see. Grab this fella. Well, it's a good thing. I'd rather fly a space sim than play a shooter. I haven't played a shooter in a while, like a proper shooter. I do Ghost Recon when I do, and I have a pretty good time playing that. I should stream that sometime. Trouble is, I've kind of beat the storyline, and now I just get in there and screw around, so it would be fairly aimless gameplay. Not that Elite's not pretty aimless all on its own. But it's a different kind of aimless. You know, there's not really a huge storyline factor in Elite, so you kind of have to make your own content. There was another one over here somewhere.
I gotta get dinner.
More excuses.
Not to be.
Apex Legends. I will probably never play
No, you're
Apex.
right, I don't need to eat.
I'm just not much of an Apex guy. I like to watch it, but... Yeah, I haven't played any of Division whatsoever. I've got a couple of friends that
Shit,
play
just taking
console
saving
side.
tags out of this real life game.
Right? It would all be so much simpler. And the carrier upkeep is murder. I wish they would drop that.
I like to watch Apex for the shenanigans.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. And I enjoy watching other people play Apex more than I ever would play Apex. But I do enjoy Ghost Recon. A little more stealth involved sometimes, a little less blaze and pray. Which may get stuck under one of these trees and get really screwed. Now the hip fire on this is awful. Which I guess is expected. It's not meant to be hip fired.
We had a flashlight on our suit.
We do. We have a flashlight. We don't have night vision. I don't know if I like that or not. It kind of takes away the blue ambiance. Yeah, I don't think I like that. Go away. Yeah, that's better. Oh, I've got the upkeep in game. I was making a joke about the real life carrier upkeep. Car insurance bills and the like. If only there were a real life booze cruise that made money instead of costing money. That would be ideal. Woo! Almost didn't make it. I hear one, I just don't see one. Surely it's not that one. That's awful far away. Is there one below
Now,
this one?
since it's Odyssey, to turn in, you have to actually disembark at the station and go to the genomics place.
Nope. It goes to the science contact.
Oh, wire docked.
Yep, you can get it just like the admin contact right there in that panel. Yeah, that's about what I'm paying. I called and had words with them because they hiked mine up. And I said, look, I haven't had an accident in, damn near 20 years. And I'm driving a newer car with more safety features than I ever have in my life, and it's paid off. So what exactly am I paying for here? And they were like, oh, well, that's the best we can do. In reality, I need to go shop around. You should really never keep car insurance with the same person longer than about 2 years. If you want to keep maximum savings, that's kind of the way you do it. You just... Because somebody's always going to beat the price that you've got. And loyalty to a particular company doesn't seem to matter anymore. I'm just a lazy person of habit, and as long as I've got it on auto pay and not thinking about it, I don't remember that I need to go shopping and change it.
I play space games because I'm not good at FPS.
Depending on the FPS, I'm okay, but I would by far rather play a space game. Been trying to avoid getting into Star Citizen. I keep seeing videos that look really fun and inviting, and then I remember that I don't have the kind of personality that could play that game without spending a shitload of money on it. Delta, welcome in. The squad father himself. There you go. Now you've got another title for you, the squad father. You guys should definitely go check out Delta. He does plenty of elite content. I would say better content than me. He is less risk averse and definitely has more moments of good tension. I think he's opted out of this CG, though. Delta of the One. Yep, that's him.
Risk-averse. I like that.
I think it's an appropriate description for him. Yeah, if you've got a good insurance agent that will do the shopping around for you, kind of, that goes a long way. And as far as having everything together, the bundles are where they get you, just like everyone else. Oh, you can save if you do this, this, and this. And it's really good on paper for about a year, and then after that, it's just so much of a pain you don't want to switch, therefore you'll pay their stupid inflated prices. It's kind of a genius business model, unfortunately. It just screws with us. The Canyon and Natural Light. Oh, I knew it was coming. I do like my natural light. You'll notice I'm not running a flashlight here. I'm looking at these plants in natural light also. Trying to make sure I get solidly in the top 75. I don't want a chance losing out on that reward after all the travel I did to get over here. It was quite a side quest I've put myself on here. And I need to start planning my helium hunt in earnest. It's one of the things I'm going to do on the way back out to Distant Worlds. I'm going to visit... There's one of the helium gas giants is on the way back. I'm going to swing in there and take a look at it. I know it's going to pop the codex entry for me, which is mildly unfortunate, but I'm a slow enough explorer. I think I can deal with that and not chance missing one. Not like Arcanic here. That guy can go through some systems. So I could see how the codex entries might be useful for a situation like that. But I'm a bit slower paced, and that's okay. I'm sure by the time I get 200,000 light years in, or 200,000 hyperspace jumps, I will probably be less apt to smell the roses on occasion myself. Yeah, it's nice when they find the contractor to do any work you need. Because then, you know, they've already kind of worked out the issues and you don't have to play the middleman. My brother's going through that right now. His house down on the river. He's got a nice older house here in Rivertown in Ohio, and they got hit with some pretty serious hail. Probably did about $30,000 worth of damage to his house. I mean, it absolutely shredded the siding. It looks like somebody just systemically went around and grid sprayed it with a shotgun. Blew out 6 or 7 of his windows. And they're the old, like, the house was built in 1903, so they're older windows. I doubt they're original, but they're still like single pane, the thinner glass, wood casement. Which I've told him he needed to update anyways, just for his heating bill, but I guess he's not getting a choice now on some of them. I think he'll probably go with some option that preserves the house. Oh, come on, it wasn't that much jumping. Literally, it was, I mean, it was all neutron jumping. It was a total of what, like 150 jumps to get back? It's really not awful. It's less than a week's worth of travel in Distant Worlds, if you're going waypoint to waypoint with the in-game plotter anyways. I'm just patiently waiting. You'll have your canyon and natural light moment. The day will come. I think I'm about out of seed pods here. There's one over there. Wrong button. That's what I wanted. Just, I'm never gonna get over that sound with the headphones on. Oh, there's a couple over here. That works. I still haven't worked out whether these respawn while you're in the instance or not. Because sometimes it seems like they do. And then sometimes I feel like I've just looked everywhere and they're gone and I've got to relog to get more. So I'm not really sure what mechanics at work. It'll be that PvP night with Arcanic. That's the next time both of us are probably going to blow up. If I were a betting man. Still haven't decided what ship I'm going to take to that. I could take my Kestrel, but that just feels cheaty. Because I have spent a significant amount of time in it, and I've gotten pretty decent with it. It'll catch up. Chaotic doesn't know the story. Oh, I'll let Delta fill you in. There's a clip up in our Discord. If you'd have to go hunt for it at this point. It's pretty far back, and I can't remember exactly where I put it. He tells the story far better than I do. Pathetic. Am I full again? I sure am. Now I gotta remember where those things are. Oh, Rob. That wasn't by chance Mont de la Mort up by Colonia, was it? It's the only one I can think of that meets that criteria. That's a fun visit, though. Definitely want to be in your SRV for that one, though. Delta's gonna go find the clip now. I think it's in the Distant Worlds channel. I can't remember for sure. Oh, that wasn't what I meant to do. Yeah, it was probably Mont de la Mort then. Delta and I had a fun time on that. That was the first waypoint on Distant Worlds. There's a swing in there. They've actually got a clock online to tell you when it's safe to land on the planet. Absolutely amazing views, though. It's definitely worth the trip up there. Colonia in general is a pretty place to explore. And it's not terrible. You can actually do everything in Colonia you can do in the bubble. Sometimes faster, because they've got... the engineers are a little more dense. When they set up Colonia, the devs wanted you to be able to exist in Colonia if that was what you wanted to do. So all engineering, for all intents and purposes, all the major stuff, at least, is available there. And instead of more engineers, fewer options, you've got the reverse. You've got fewer engineers that have more blueprints available to them. So you can certainly post up there for a good long while. And the views are way prettier. Better star density. You've got that nice blue nebula right there in the neighborhood. And you're right next to the galactic core. You can pop over there and explore to your heart's content. You cannot colonize in Colonia yet. That feature still hasn't been enabled. To the best of my knowledge. And for anyone who would like to get in on colonization, we've got our own little squadron started. You're certainly free to come claim a system and jump in the Discord with us. We'll be happy to help you haul, or you can come haul if that's your thing. We've got a couple of people that seems to be their preferred gameplay loop. I can only do so much of it, but we've got a couple pretty dedicated haulers that have been knocking out big build projects left and right. And hats off to them for that. I can't do that. Not an all one shot like that. They went in and built out a Coriolis basically in a 12-hour period, loading and unloading. Now I think I'm out of plants. I mean, there's missions and NPC pirates up in Colonia. You can still do those missions up there, and honestly, if you're into BGS, Rob, it might be easier to do in Colonia. With a lower population of actual players, I would think there'd be less resistance. I would think. I don't know for a fact. I will say, I think, for what it's worth, the big change coming this year as far as the core system getting reworked, it's probably going to be BGS. My second choice would be multiplayer. And Delta, I'm here to tell you, bud, making my arcs in this challenge we're doing is absolutely awful. I just want you to know that. I'm having trouble earning my allowance because I'm not selling any data. Poor old Jim here living on peanuts. No, 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 come back. Need to remember to be careful on that. The gravity here is just high enough that falling from one of those taller platforms does a significant amount of damage. I'm used to being out in the black, where the farthest I can fall is the highest I can jump. Relatively speaking. I mean, I guess you could jump downhill and get yourself into trouble. I have done that. Did I vaporize it? Where'd it go, George? Which way did it go, George? Seriously, that egg just up and fucked right off, didn't it? There it is. How'd it get over there? It's not ideal. This is always my least favorite part of, like, 2090 games. Every game back then seemed to have, like, a platform puzzle section. Zelda was really bad about it. Ocarina of Time on Nintendo 64. I hated puzzling in that game. And it's not that I don't enjoy puzzles, because I do. I like a good brain teaser, but I think it's a matter of when I'm like playing a video game, that's not what I want to be doing. Just Let me relax and do some straightforward task. I don't want to be solving the world's problems. That's fun. You get the little, it's almost like the shield noise, only to a lesser degree. So I'm not sure what it is, because if you look at the gun model, the sight's always there. It doesn't, like, come up when I ADS. But you get a noise, other than your character moving. I wonder what that's all about. I have not. Alright, Chaotic. We'll see you later, girl. Thanks for dropping in. Rob, I have not done the orbital SRV launch. It's on my to-do list. Given our current competition where we're trying to see who can make the most in exploration data, I won't be doing it soon. But I know there are a couple of moons with geysers close enough together that you can effectively launch an SRV from one planet to another through space and all. And I do want to try doing that. Just for the bucket list aspect. Alright, that's 100 more seeds on board. I think I need one more run. And then we'll be done with this for the moment. I'll keep tabs on it on an R and make sure I'm not falling behind or anything, but like I said, I've got limited time in the bubble and plenty of housekeeping to accomplish whilst I'm here. I need to remember to change out that limpet controller is one thing for sure. Because I don't have a 5A out on the Distant Worlds fleet at all. Alrighty, brother. Thanks for coming in, hanging out.
Good night.
Yeah, it's been done planet to planet. You have to. I'd have to like Google search to tell you what planets, because obviously you need a set that's close enough together. But it was a pair. It's like a pair of close orbiting moons, and then one of them had geysers on it, and he rode the geysers, and it quite literally, it was low gravity with geysers, pushed him up into orbit, and he went one planet to the other. I don't know how all the mechanics follow that. Like, I don't know if he could pull his ship down to the other planet or what. I assume so. If you have a poke around YouTube, it should definitely be on there. But yeah, it's been done, and naturally I want to give it a whirl. It's too silly not to. There is one gun I don't have on me. I don't... Woo! The debris got me. I don't have the plasma shotgun. Because I never use it in, like, ground combat, so I don't own one. But that could also be fun for this, I suppose. Doesn't really seem to matter what gun you really use. You can accomplish it with anything you please. It's just a matter of how often you want to shoot at these things. So many seeds, so many seeds. So little time. I do find the most efficient thing to do is to get all the ones on the platforms and then drop down and clean up. See, that one just disappeared. I know it was on the platform. It was rolling back towards center. And then it just, poof, gone. Easier to reclip. Yeah, probably so. And I did a pretty short clip of it. There was certainly some more context that would have made it funnier. You took so long, she's gone though. She'll have to catch it next time. But yeah, we do like to look at canyons in natural light. It's the only way to view a good canyon. It wasn't even a good canyon, that's the worst part. It's just an odd texture on the planet for the most part. Of course you did. Why wouldn't you repost it in Discord? This guy. A day that will live in infamy. Murdoch's desire to see canyons in natural light. Oh, don't get stuck. That was close. I really wouldn't want to have to use the unstuck recovery feature right now. Got an awful lot of data on board. So Delta, you said you were going to do some exploration next, I think, and try and get caught up on the challenge, yeah? Let's see what EDJP has to say for me. 101 million just in honk data, basically. 102. I'm not sure what I have in Exo Bio right now. I honestly haven't been hitting Exo that hard. You know, Trank's pretty convinced I'm going to win that challenge, and I don't think it's nearly as in the bag as she thinks it is. I've been doing an awful lot of travel, but it's just honking. I've not been scanning a ton. I haven't done a ton of Exo Bio or anything. I don't think you're that far behind, but honks by themselves are just not worth very much. Now, I will say, now that I've caught up to the Distant Worlds fleet and I'm not stuck in my HR Boxel now, it's very likely that I'll ramp it up a little, so. The grace period is over. See what kind of damage I can actually do out here. Not seeing a bunch of seed pods here. I think I might be getting a little dry again here. Somebody has joined me. I think that's a Tranquila. That sounds really cool at a distance. I assume that's the sniper.
Point back.
Are you shooting at something over there?
I was.
Yeah, the sniper rifle at distance sounds pretty cool too. You can like hear it echo like it's got hills to bounce off of or something. Assuming that's what you were using.
I have not the rifle,
Oh wow, that's pretty loud at distance. Surprisingly so. There's those creep. There we go with the quotes. I knew it was only a matter of time. That was number 1 too. Congratulations. Nobody else has caught me saying something I would rather not be clipped yet. See, that one seems like it just spawned in, but I think it was just out of render distance. Oh, no. They're all staying. I just meant nobody's called me out on my what's the word I want to use? More compromising moments of speech here. Last stream would have been a good one for that. I was so tired. I don't even know that I was making sense when I was talking. I think it was the last stream. It might have been the one before that. I was pretty beat though. Ah, no. Come back! Stop! Come to Papa. Alrighty, so... Oh yeah, I'm not on my ship. I'm not on my ship! Let's do this. I've turned in not quite 200. I've got 120 on me, so that puts me over the 300 mark. So I think that's it. I think that's me in the top 50%. Let's see what Inara has to say about it. It's been progressing just sitting here watching it. 87.6 before I reload the page, and 89, yeah. They're saying it should be done in less than 8 hours. And I would buy it. It's been a pretty steady crawl. I haven't seen one get hit this hard in a while. I know the exploration one we did out on Distant Worlds didn't seem to get nearly that kind of traffic. But a lot of people also turned in last minute for it. It's kind of the meta for an exploration one. Because you're out gathering data. There's no reason to make multiple trips back. That just cuts your efficiency. You're better off to just keep exploring and then run back in at the last minute and sell everything. Yeah, so there's 120. We're going to call it there on the Easter egg hunting. Beautiful scene, though. It's a lot of fun. Go drop these off and get started on some housekeeping. I think a trip over towards Jameson is in order. And I wanted the... oh, well, too late. I always hate when I bump that vertical thrust button, because it launches me the minute I get back in my cockpit, whether I wanted to or not. I wanted to look up tech brokers, because I want some serious heat sinks. And it looks like what I am short is mechanical components. I don't think you can buy those. I think I have to salvage those. I can't remember for sure. All right, let's take a gander here. Yeah, it's not a commodity. Well, damn. Ship salvage, transport ships, combat aftermath. Higher chance in lower security systems, so I'm gonna guess that's like an emission I'll have to go hunt down.
Cannot comply. Cannot comply.
Oh, landing gear.
Landing
There we
gear retracted. Frame shift.
go. Bonehead moose. Man, that's loud in my ear hole. Looking at OBS, that's probably loud in your ear hole. Drag that down just a skosh.
2, 1, engage.
I hope the stream quality's looking better than what I'm seeing on the preview over here. It looks pretty rough. That's like some 260p or something. At 360p. How about that? Ah, there we go. So I can just crank up the quality. Beautiful. Which side is that? Left, right, left, this side. Oh, it's my rain pants hanging up there to dry. Wondering what was goofing up that side of the frame. Yeah, I can't remember. I think the webcam's running... It can run 1080. I don't think I'm running it at 1080. I'd have to look. Yes, sir. Thanks for dropping in there, Delta. And, of course, if anyone wants to join us over in the Discord, I hang out in Delta's Discord, because that's where all the fun people are. You can swing in there, and if you're looking for a squadron to join, we're always taking folks. And we do a little bit of everything. I think coming up here in the summer, we're going to do some bug hunting. And I've never gone Thargoid hunting, so that excites me in all the right ways. Oh, wait a minute. Did I already have that targeted? No? Am I losing my mind here? Oh, because I targeted the planet again. Woo! Exogene Sciences. That's what I wanted. It should be roughly 180 behind me. Oh, 7, sir. Have fun. Hopefully you don't work too hard tomorrow. I will not be. I will be right here doing this tomorrow. It's the only upside to the 6-day week is it is followed by the Sunday-Monday off rotation. Which still gives me 5 days in a week, because then I have to do Tuesday through Saturday. But from then until my next weekend, it's not so bad, because the week gets broke up. And it's a bunch of 2 and 3, or 3 and 2, or however they break it down. I thought I would hate that when I first started for the post office, but honestly, that's one of my favorite things, is that rotating schedule. Because you've always got a weekday off if you need to do doctor's appointments, or just break up the week so you're not working a bunch of days in a row. It's glorious for that. And I'm a single dude. I'm a free agent. I got nothing to do on my days off, so I don't really care when they are. I don't need them to be consistently on the weekend or anything like that, so it works out really well for me.
LAC Juliet India Mike. This is Flight Operations Department. Please comply with established docking procedures, Commander. Access granted. Cleared for landing on docking bay 1-2.
Not used to having that kind of power. Caspian's a bit more sluggish than that. Just a bit. Not terrible. It does handle really well for a ship like that. Ooh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm in the bubble.
Meters from touchdown.
Before I leave, I am 100% going to go into VR and fly my FAS around and see how that looks.
Automated docking approved.
I used to be that way with it. Like, I always wanted it to be the same 2 days for a while. But it's not terrible having the rotating days, because I know a year in advance what they're going to be. And it does follow a predictable pattern, so...
Starboard, Commander.
With our week starting on Saturday, you always get Friday, Saturday, Sunday together. The next week is always Sunday, Monday, and then Sunday, Tuesday, Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday, Thursday. And then you're back to Friday, Saturday, Sunday off in a row. And that's not even counting, like, the odd holiday we get here and there. Well, see, it's working fine on the joystick now. Go figure. what the deal is. That should put me in the top 50. And it does. Alright. Well, we'll see. If they extend it, I will definitely have to grind that some more. For now, though, let's pop back over in this poor worn-out Caspian I got. She has seen better paint jobs for sure. If it decides it wants to load up here. Oh, it's not showing the paint. I have not repainted it. It's definitely still a bombed out mess here. It really doesn't show. See, that's with the black on, the midnight black, and you can tell where it's worn away. I mean, the decal, obviously. I've got the Squadron decal right there, top center, and it's mostly gone. It's mostly not a decal anymore. Yeah, that's the only problem, is getting a consistent... My only consistent day off is Sunday. Which does make it hard to plan other activities. Stuff like D&D would be pretty challenging. Unless it was a crew of night owls or something, because I can only guarantee being off, late in the evening, but that's okay too. I haven't played D&D in a while. I do kind of miss it on occasion, and then I remember I'm not a social person who likes commitments of any kind. Well, I don't like... I should rephrase that. It's not that I have a problem with commitment. I don't like standing social engagements. I'm not a social person. I'd much rather be at home. Even if it's something I mildly enjoy. Alright. First stop is Herschel. Which do I still have him bookmarked? Do I have my own carrier bookmarked? I may have unfavorited it for Distant Worlds because I knew I wasn't going to be anywhere near it. I do still have it bookmarked. I just unfavorited it. Okay. So let's pop over that way. Yeah, I could probably stand to get out more. I've actually been thinking about maybe getting a pull-behind camper. Because when I get out more, what I would prefer to do is go out and sit in the woods and go camping or something. And there is a free campground about 2 hours from me. Which I've thought about. If I had like a little 13-foot travel trailer or something. Something I could have pretty well loaded, stocked up, ready to go. Then... on a weekend like this where I was getting off work late Saturday, I could come home, hitch it up, throw the dog in, throw the food in out of the refrigerator or stop on the way. What stops me from doing that now is I predominantly camp out of my backpack usually. I'm a backpacker more than a camper. I do find as I get a little older, I prefer neither over the other like I used to. I used to by far prefer backpacking. But, anymore, I'm quite happy to go out and truck camp. But getting off work as late as I did, by the time I drove down there, it was pretty well dark by the time I got home. And then if I were going to go drive 2 more hours and then get in and have to set up in the dark, and not that I can't. I mean, I've set up dark plenty out backpacking, pushing my luck, but I just don't want to do it. But if I had something like a camper set up where I could just pull in, get out, let the dog out, and then climb in the back and have dinner or whatever, pull out, a folding chair and enjoy the evening, whatever I'm going to do without a ton of setup, that would work out. And I could certainly enjoy a day or two of camping out on something like that. And they're not super expensive either. I mean, they're more expensive than I would like, but that's for everything that costs anything, frankly. Oh, no. I wasn't watching my timer. Whoosh. Or as Neil deGrasse Tyson said, meow. You gotta move by the mic or it doesn't work right. But I've been looking at one of those. thinking about it. Now that I've got some more space to park it and that kind of thing, and I've paid off the truck and some other recurring expenses, I've got room to add one if I so desire. Yeah, I can understand that. It's certainly a different mindset, and being back in that setting probably doesn't ever go back to being what you would prefer it to be over what it was trained to be instead. But I have a small collection of Coleman lanterns, like 10 or 12 of them, all different models, that I kind of like to maintain and stuff, and those are nice to take out. Everyone now wants to take something battery powered or just stumble around with a headlamp, and there's an ambiance you can't get back otherwise, running like a gas lantern on a shepherd's hook to light your campsite at night. Yeah, that's fair. Up there, it's probably best not to approach that too casually, I would imagine, for exactly that reason. We don't have much of a bear problem here in Ohio. We've got black bears on the eastern half of the state. There's people out there that'll tell you we don't, but I've bumped into them in the woods. Bullshit, they're out there. They are absolutely here, but they're a bunch of scaredy cats. I've never had a problem out of a bear. I've almost tripped over several snakes. That's by far my bigger concern. Especially when I backpack, which typically tends to be shoulder season. That's right when they're either going into hibernation or coming out of it, and they're quite content to lay right across a trail in the sun somewhere and sun themselves. And if you're not watching where you're walking, it's real easy to outright step on one or trip over it. One way or another, put yourself in striking distance, so I gotta really watch that, especially taking the pup out. Not that she's as rambunctious as she was when she was younger, but I do try not to let her get too far ahead of me. Last thing I want to do is be hog jogging it out of the woods would very much ruin my trip in a hurry. Alright, there were things I wanted to do here. One of them is to pull that Cobra back over here. Actually, you know what? Let's leave it over there, because I may have to go back over there before this is said and done. I just need to remember to pull it before I jump. I'm not going to do it right now, because I would have to switch into VR. But I want to see how the cockpit on my Fast looks. And the Chief. Honestly, there's several ships here that I would have to try that out on. I wanted to look at paint jobs. Okay, what causes that movement? Okay, that's my stick. Wow, I really need to adjust that dead zone. That's pretty bad. That's hands-off stick. It's just moving around. Alright. Oh, nope, that's shipyard stock. I want a delivery. I do have the Pirate Orange, which I like. I think that's a pretty good look for it. But somebody out on Distant Worlds, one of the carriers out there, has another blue color that I really liked. Let's see if I can figure out which one. I think it was the... No, not the Privateer. Salvage blue, maybe? Ooh, I do like that.
I already bought my colors for the carrier I'm getting.
What'd you decide on?
I can't remember what it was. It's also a blue. It has
It's pretty
more of a
loud.
metallic blue color than like a painted blue, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, I think it's the paint job Thimblethul has on it, because that's the one I kind of like.
Oh, okay, we're all gonna end up with. We'll see.
The pirate blue I do kind of like. That looks kind of nice.
Yeah, that's a nice one too. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. I wonder if it's a limited time sale, because I feel like I found it on the website, but I was having trouble seeing it in here.
Was it tactical? It might have been.
I think that's it. I think it's the Imperator. I feel like it popped out more on Thimblethul, though. I wonder if it's because I've got my landing pad set to default.
I already bought mine, so they should pop up, and I can't remember what it is.
I'm actually happy with the default color on the landing pad things.
I'll look.
Yeah, let's go back to the standard
This was
inside livery.
one I wish they had more choices for the interior.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat there. You go through so much work to get a carrier, and then there's so little customization. Yeah, I'm willing to bet some of these cockpits are going to look real tight in VR.
White or
I know I'm a big fan of the Federal Assault Ship's cockpit in VR, or in flat screen, so I imagine I'll like it in VR too. I haven't been in this thing in a minute. Ooh, I don't know. That ceiling runs out a little faster than I remembered. I may not like that as much in VR as I think I will. Combat shits for the coffee pot. 2 of them, I guess. I've got some work to do on this thing now. It's so far behind the,
okay.
Stop.
I think the one I
It's so far behind the
think
Kestrel,
one
it's
I
not
got
funny.
was Fleet Carrier Tactical Cobalt. That was the color.
Oh, yeah, that one's pretty vibrant. Wasted money. 'Cause I don't need them right now, and the ship will be back eventually. Alright, what else did I want? I need to go visit the Squadrant. So let's go do that, because I need to work my way through quite a few systems over there just so I can effectively jump the fleet carrier around. Being stuck at the star is not conducive to colonization whatsoever. I did rearrange my HGG counter in my holograph letters there. I didn't like the 0 where it was, so I swapped it with that goofy looking plant. That seems to work better for me. I haven't claimed a system with this character either in the Squadron. Maybe I should do that. Might as well start at the Emporium system.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pick something when Tranquila gets back.
Man, 1,280 light years used to seem like quite a journey. 18 jumps. Seems unreasonably far. It really speaks to the lack of neutron stars in the bubble.
Log.
Clamps released. Launch confirmed.
Said you had to log off?
No, I'm gonna have to log on as Tranquila and move myself to another ship, to another carrier.
Oh, did they change the science carrier for this one?
Yes, they did, but I don't want to be on the science carrier.
Oh, so it's Distant Suns again?
No, it's Fimbolthol. Fimbolthol's gonna be it, but I don't want to be on Fimbolthol.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, I've kind of been sticking on Distant Suns. You moved over to Fimbolthol for the last one. I gotcha.
It's just they're gonna be staying in the same area, and I where they're going. The next waypoint is like closer to the center of the galaxy. It's not the center, but it's kind of next door, and that's where I would rather be.
You're clear. Feel free to accelerate.
Let's take a gander here. Where the next waypoint
Like an
is.
arm away.
39,000 light years. Oh yeah, we're moving back in. Well, that's good. That'll cut down on my return trip a little bit.
Yeah, it's right, and I would prefer to be in an arm than.
Let's see, where's that HGG I wanted to go to? Bookmarked those. Didn't I? I did.
Because Fimbolthol's going to be in between an arm again.
Yeah, that's the closer one. No, it's not. That can't be. It's got to be the one way out in left field. Nope. Not the one I wanted. I don't think that's the one I meant either. It's not the one out in Gludge. That's way out in there nowhere, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe it is. I thought there was one more or less on my way back to Distant Worlds. And I guess I could make that one work. I'm sure I can get across that arm in the Caspian and then run down this arm. We'll see. Got time to go before I get there. Yeah, I would say a trip to Sag A would probably manage elite.
It'll be a little closer.
I would drop down on the plane though. Give yourself at least negative 500 on the way over there.
So
Because it's pretty explored. I mean, if you go to, just pop this up. If you go over, it's not terrible, but the straight line distance between the bubble and Sag A, and the bubble and Colonia especially, are pretty hot. If you look at the logarithmic map, it's bad. But if you look in the plane, you know, people kind of stop. Their real heavy travel is right on dead zero. So if you drop down to like negative or positive 500, one or the other, you should probably pick up enough to be reasonable. That's quite a bit of data you could gather on the way. It's a lot of jumping though. Just a honk. I feel like there was another map I watched. Oh yeah. Body scan, start class. Which one is it that shows the suppression cross? I'm trying to remember. Is there a way to select which classes I'm showing? Yeah, it's very much an interstate these days. Even to Beagle Point is pretty well highlighted. And you can kind of see the Distant Worlds waypoints now. We started at Barnards, went to just under Colonia. Kind of the early parts don't show as well, but there's Rendezvous Point. And we shot over and went back to Salome's Reach and then kind of kicked our way back through Akinar. Tell you what would help me a great deal here is if I would turn on the very beginning of Acheron and then came down this way. Because that voxel I've been working, I think, is that blip. It's one of these blips right here, because this was the Science Waypoint 5. And the helium-rich voxel I've been working is right in this area here. So it's one of these 3 little blips. But we hit that, came back out this way, so... It's interesting. Saturation map, the edge of the galaxy is just wild. That it's been that busy. In terms of, what's there versus what's been explored. I think the expedition I'm going to take out for new people is probably going to focus in Sanguinius Rim. Because it's close enough to the bubble that you can get back. There's a good spot here where the arms aren't, it's not too thin in between these arms right here. So it's not even super difficult travel back and forth. But it's also got, plenty, especially on the edge of the arm down here, plenty of regions where there's less density and scanning done. Still plenty to explore out there, so yeah, if you look at saturation, it's by comparison, it's pretty sparse in there.
Yeah,
Oh,
nice.
the art on this map is hilarious. There's all kinds of stuff. Let's see. Some less appropriate stuff, obviously, but there's also the
Some of it is not safe for work.
yeah. We've also got some memes drawn in here. Stargoid, David Braven. Somebody out here, I think, did an entire sector survey. They're out of their minds. It was probably a group. And I wondered for a long time how people did this, and then I finally figured it out. It's not that hard to do. It takes a lot more dedication than I'm willing to put into it, but it can be done. And the way you would do it is by coordinates. If you're in the galaxy map, you come down far enough, you'll get coordinates, and you can use those. You'd have to kind of play around to figure out what the right scale is, but you could do point-to-point art. Basically, you would have to draw it in CAD, and because it's mostly going to be straight lines in between. I mean, obviously, you can at a wide enough scale, enough straight lines make a curve, right? But I'm fairly certain that's how they're doing stuff like this. It's the only way I can think of to be able to work out where you needed to be to make a particular thing show up. Pretty wild, though. Dedicated folks. Arcanic is home. Are you gonna be streaming, bud? Are we going for Gas Giants? Or do you want to hit this CG tonight? I know you're not really an on-foot kind of guy. Oh, all over the place. Alright, let's get over to the squadron and scan around. Quit screwing around here. Got places to go, things to do, people to see. I'm going to have to kind of noodle over whether I want to change
Good
the
stuff. Great.
carrier paint job or not. I'm still not sure about that. Because I do like the orange, especially when it's parked around a star. It just pops really well. And it's the first paint job. I mean, Herschel's been wearing that particular dress for a long time. I don't know if I should be changing it on a whim. I kind of like it. Of course, I change my ship paint jobs at the drop of a hat, so it's hard to tell. He says, nope. He already left the bubble. Mac and cheese it is. That sounds pretty good, man. I had dinner around 6. But I think after stream I'm going to go fire up the microwave and do some popcorn. Unfortunately, that big long afternoon nap is going to screw me this evening. Yeah, the Cat's Paw's probably pretty well explored. Most of the major nebulas near the bubble are all decidedly worked through. They're still pretty to go look at. If you want an out and back trip that is less common, I would probably consider... Let's see, which way am I facing? I came up and hit Statue of Liberty on my first outing. It's only like 5,000 light years out of the bubble. It's not super far. I think it's up this way. Nope, maybe not. I'm not as adept at getting around this map as Garcanic is. Switchhead, California. It's a smaller nebula. What are you? Nope, not that one. Let's do this, because this will make it easy. There we go. I'm pretty sure it's out this way. Yeah. Guess I could have just done that. Yeah, it is out this way. So, back to realistic. How far out is this? 6,000 light years. That could be a fun trip. Out from the bubble, because most of the in-between is going to be unexplored after you get a couple hundred light years out, maybe 1,000 light years out of the bubble. Yeah, midday naps are the devil. I had that nibble of a gummy, and that really did me in. It was a way bigger nibble than I meant for it to be. And they're like 50 milligrams, so it doesn't take much. But I had a good time watching the stream. I sat here and did another 30 or so neutron jumps, and then I cashed out pretty hard. So it is a problem of my own making, for certain. Luckily, I've got tomorrow off, so what is it? It's an inconvenience. I'll work through it. I'll tell you what, Rob, if you're looking for other exploration things to do that aren't super, like, far out, Arcanic's probably the guy to talk to. He's got a better handle on the density of exploration that's occurred out there, I think, than most people. Oh, I deleted my route, didn't I? That's not where I wanted to go. And I'm struggling. I was doing real good when all I was doing was shooting seed pods, but now that I'm trying to work something out in here, it's like all of a sudden I forgot how to do things. There we go. Yeah, that trip out to Statue of Liberty was fun. I did that back in my days in the Asp Explorer, which I still like the view of. I don't like flying it. Especially I don't like crashing it. Much rather do the Phantom for that. Ah, yeah, that's true. I keep forgetting you like to stick to the catalog, Darius. Got a little eager on that one. Feel like I'm doing a lot of jumping these last couple days. Not a condition that's going to improve either, because I still have to get back out to Distant Worlds. I was actually a little worried about that. I was kind of wondering if maybe I wouldn't get back and lose my zeal for it and just decide I was going to wait on the beacon to pop, but I think I am going to go back out. It's not that far. I jumped it in like 2.5 hours today, so... And they're moving closer to the bubbles, so the next waypoint won't be quite as bad. Yeah, I'm gonna have to find me another helium-rich voxel. I abandoned my other one. I'll finish it if I ever get back up in that neighborhood, but it's way up there north of Saga, and I don't intend to be in that neighborhood for a hot minute. Ah, that's true too. I do want to take like that expedition somewhere where newer players can really sink their teeth into exploration. Because when you first like learn and do it on your own, you spend a lot of time just hopping from one system to another, scanning, not really knowing necessarily what you're looking at, or even what to be looking for. So I kind of want it to be an area where I can maybe take them to something like a helium-rich voxel, because you get a lot of neat stuff in there. You get wide rings, you get close orbits, you get ringed landables with and without atmosphere. Obviously, you get helium-rich gas giants. It's a good place to learn about some of the more obscure exploration things you can find. Yeah. I might take you up on that, Arcanic. Go see what I can find on my own, too. I also want to go look at where the helium giants are currently located and try to get some more data about where they're found. I assume those are all in helium-rich voxels, the ProcGen helium giants. If I'm wrong, feel free to correct me, but that would stand to reason in my head, unless they're truly an outlier and that doesn't apply to them. I'd be shocked to find two in the same voxel, but I did want to go look at the voxel they're in and see kind of what the, if after surveying all four of them, kind of determine what the ProcGen parameters are, or start trying to. That's kind of the nice thing about hunting green gas giants, they're just so random. I mean, there's little tips and tricks you can use to better your odds or make it easier to search, but anywhere you go is kind of a good place to be. I feel like the search for helium gas giants is going to be a lot more targeted. Which kind of works for me. I would prefer to do something with a little more focus to it. That's just me, though. Gotta do what you enjoy. Ah, damn it. See, I was afraid that was going to be the case. Because I haven't visited one and dug into it yet. What I am deathly afraid of is that we don't have enough data with just 4 of them to really compile any sort of meaningful parameters to look for. And if that's the case, my search is kind of boned, because, you know, I mean, I can hop around and try to find them, but if I don't even know where or what to look for, it's literally just chance. I was afraid I was going to hate those holographic bobblehead letters, and I don't mind them at all. I've kind of missed having something up there that wiggles. I did have I think it's a Mars I've got up there. It's either Mars or Venus. It's actually not up there at the moment. I think it was on the left side, and I had to use all those slots for the HGG lettering. I am bothered that the 1G is behind the target indicator, but there's nowhere else to put it. I suppose on something like a Panther where you've got more dash space, but it's pretty limited, seems like. Or at least it's crunched together on the Caspian, where on some ships it's not. I feel like the Phantom had a really wide desk in it. I understand it's the same one, but it felt wider. Maybe it just looks wider, because in comparison to everything around it, it takes up more space. That's probably it. I don't hate that. I don't mind yawning at all. That's a good sign. I might actually sleep at a decent time. If you visited it, you can see some of it, Rob. Not all of it. Like, I haven't visited any of those helium giants yet. So if I go and look at the system it's in, let's just pick one. That one will do. Since I can't get into the map, this is really kind of the only information I get. So I get what star types are present, the distance. But if I go somewhere I have been, say up here in the helium voxel I was working, I've been to that system, so I can click into the system map and then examine each planetary body in a little greater detail. So that's what I'm going to have to go do for these helium giants, but I don't know that I'm going to gain enough data to be workable. We'll find out. I'm not giving up yet. Not yet. It may be more difficult than I intended it to be, but that's okay. I'm stubborn. Also helps that I have a complete lack of anything else to do. You can kind of use the star makeup still. I mean, you could still filter by a particular star. There are like certain biologies and stuff that definitely spawn on certain star types. What I would probably do is check out the Canon website. Canon Research Group, it's canon.science. And if you come in, you can go through different categories, like the cartographic section where they go through some articles and stuff in here, and then they also have geology and surface organics where they really break down everything. So like I've been working on Stratum tectonicus, so if I come down to Stratum and then look, obviously there's different species, but what I was looking for are colors other than emerald, lime, and green, because I find a lot of those. But you'll see those three colors occur within the fuel scoopable stars. All the other ones occur on non-scoopable stars. So you could still guide your exploration with something like that. You could pick maybe a particular biology to chase, or just like a star class you wanted to go. Like say you wanted to go find some Electricae, and it gives you what the parameters are for them, like what the temperature parameters are, what the pressure and gravity is, if they have to be a particular distance from their star, that kind of thing. I don't know of anywhere that information gets that granular. Arcanic might have a better answer. Is there some place you can search, like, uh, by star composition, or would you just have to take, like, the percentages, figure out what star type that is, and look for that star type? Which I suspect is how you'd have to do that. As far as seeing what the distribution is in a system for helium and stuff, your best bet's to scan gas giants and take that helium percentage there. But most of the galaxy, as far as I've seen, is typically going to be lower to mid-20s. I can't think of any place I've been with lower than like 20%. Doesn't mean it's not out there, it just means I haven't seen it. And I certainly have done less exploration than some. Although, my light year counter is definitely getting up there. I should be over 600k by now. Yeah, 662,000 light years now. Woo! Still a ways behind some crazy people. Arcanic comes to mind. You got, what, 17 million or something goofy? I saw Kit was online a bit ago. I wonder if he's still on. Nah, he's bugged off, but he was on earlier when I was playing a little bit before stream.
Hello.
I am eating the mac and cheese.
Ah, very good.
Hi, stream.
Now you have an Arcanic in voice. Even better.
What? Sorry, I was AFK eating dinner. It wasn't the mac and cheese, though. I had meatballs with Alfredo.
Ooh.
Mac and cheese
That
is
sounds
life,
good.
but that sounds good too.
Oh yeah, nice and
So
creamy.
true.
Well, the meatballs were just the pre-cooked store ones because I had to get rid of them. Otherwise, normally I do meatballs from scratch using a bunch of ingredients.
Nice. Nothing wrong with pre-cooked though. It's still freaking good.
Yeah, they're right.
You can filter by star type, Rob. As far as like variants within that, like luminosity,
Too much.
that you can see.
Like Italian seasoning, maybe. They're really.
If you go in
spicy,
under
like hot spicy. If that makes
pilots fed and then
Yeah.
down to star class, you can pick a particular star class. A lot of people will filter by scoopable stars only. So
Oh my
KGB
gosh,
phone.
I'm getting all my viewers playing Subnautica now. Mars
And then
is
if you-
playing below zero.
That's a star I've never been to, but it does tell me the variant I've got there, the luminosity and stuff like that. So you do get a little information. And if you wanted to kind of plot your way, void plot your way one star at a time that way, you could do that. I don't know that there's a third-party tool that makes that any easier, though. I'm sure you could do it with Spanch. You can do almost anything with Spanch if you're patient enough. Hey, we're almost to the squadrant. It does let you filter for Wolf-Rayets and protostars. I don't actually think I've found a Wolf-Rayet yet. I've run into a couple of carbon stars. I've done white dwarfs, I've done neutrons, I've done Herbigs. But I don't think I found a Wolf-Rayet. Or Rye, however you want to say it. I think the correct way is Rye. I believe it's French. And I think I've discovered a black hole. I can't remember. There's plenty of things on the exploration bucket list still to find for me. I will say the Wolf-Rayet stars are found mostly in H-mass voxels, and by mostly, I think all the time. I think in Wolf-Rayet it's only H-mass voxels.
Yep.
Yep. Unfortunately, most of those have been run through, so they're going to be hard to discover one, but if you just want to go visit one, that shouldn't be too much trouble. There's not a lot of danger in the exploration world of Elite, unfortunately. I mean, the extent of your danger is this. Whoops, I flew into a star. How terrible. I mean, I took a little bit of a hit there. So I'm down like 1% on most modules. 7 on a flak launcher that shouldn't be on there anyways. And I have to wait on the 40-second FSD cooldown instead of the 10-second one if I dropped intentionally. Yeah, honestly, your biggest danger exploring is on your way back. I generally always play in private group these days, but before I did that, I would only ever play open out in the black, and if I were coming in with a bunch of data, I would switch to solo mode before I came back in. I'm not gonna try to dodge gankers in a vastly underrated ship that's designed to jump far, not necessarily quickly. Because I'll size my engines down 2 or 3 steps and things like that. It's just not worth the risk and loss. And of course, now I have to deal with the heat trying to get away from a star, which is gonna jump up, but that's really the extent of danger. And in this case, the star wasn't even hot enough to be a real problem. I mean, it's sounding an alarm, but I'm below 100%, so I'm not taking damage, and I didn't have to use a heatsink. As dangerous as it is to fly into black holes, it's just not modeled very well. You essentially have the same problem with them I just had. Yeah, that's a good description, ghost mode. I suppose if you wanted to be, like, a little more risky about it, you could certainly fly in an open. I've been doing more and more trading in open, in a open safe build that I've been working on. And it's not even that it's safe, like, you're still going to get interdicted, and you're still going to have to try to fight a player interdiction, which is hard. But I've been working on making it so that I can kind of get out of it or submit to the interdiction and then immediately, you know, jump out to a random star, high wake out. And that's been fun on the side. I do less of it just because everyone in our group plays in the private group, so that's kind of my muscle memory default now. When I log in, that's where I go. Which you are welcome to join. Anybody that wants to. We take all kinds. And you don't have to be in the squadron. We have several adjacent squadrons that kind of play in our player group. That's fine too. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I've got an alt here in the bubble. So does Tranquila. I've got a little more than a Type 11. I've got a Type 11, a Kestrel, and a Panther, and a Type 8, just so I had a medium pad trader. And a Mandalay to get around in. But it's not so much just to stave off the space madness. That was why I bought the character to start with. Because I bought it on the Apollo 14 expedition. But these days we do quite a bit more squad activity stuff. And I wanted to be able to participate in that, so. What do I want? I want colonization mode. And I want inhabited and mine. That should do it. Except it didn't. I don't want unclaimed. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Now, let's just hop around to all the inhabited stars in our area. Hey, there's Pebivs, or Pebivs. Now I'm having the same problem Delta had. I can't remember which way it's supposed to be pronounced. But we'll start over there.
Frameshift drive charging.
That would be fun if you could jettison cargo at speed. Ooh. Hello there, Mr. Star. And I'm not going to... Do I get the star map just for honking? Yeah, that's good enough. That's all I need. So that's good. I can just jump and honk. Who's got this one? And why does it not? There we go. What is going on here that I can't get my mouse where I want it to be?
Way to hand in these seeds.
What is a fast way to hand in the seeds?
I don't know. I just gotta click for each one.
Oh yeah, you gotta
I can't
click.
hold
Yeah, there needs to be a turn in all button. I don't know why they didn't do that.
Frameshift drive charging.
Classic FDev.
That's it right there. Can't have players having fun now. We didn't make them grind hard enough to get the seed pods. Now they need to wait forever in a menu holding that button down like they're on a fleet carrier transferring stuff. I will say, Trank, that's a mechanic you should get used to, because if you're transferring stuff on your carrier through like the inventory menu instead of the market, it doesn't, like on the market where you hold it down and it kind of logarithmically affects the rate. The longer you hold it, the bigger the jumps are. It doesn't do that on the inventory panel. It's just one at a time, constant rate. It's pretty painful.
Lovely. Okay. Okay.
Frameshift
I'm
drive
at
charging.
75%. Because I was being interrupted. I'm gonna leave my alt here. If I get a chance, hopefully it's still going on tomorrow.
I doubt it will be.
But I need to jump back to.
NR is estimating 7 hours and 40 minutes before it gets wrapped up. Yeah, sci-fi space pirate would be a dangerous life to live. I have kind of thought about doing that on this character on occasion, though. Like, I've got that Python sitting there, and I don't have a terrible amount of use for it now, because it's not going to be mining when I have a Type 11. But it could still make for a fun little pirate ship. And I've got several paint jobs and a ship kit for it and stuff, and I hate to just let it sit in a hangar when I've spent real money to decorate it. Which, you know, admittedly there's a certain lack of logic in doing that to start with. But, as I've griped before, the understanding when I buy a skin in a game
To the right carrier.
is that it's, you know, it's got some longevity in it, and I'll get use out of it. And now they've kind of obsoleted ships that I've paid for kits and paint jobs for, and that annoys me. Yeah, I left my Cobra sitting over there at the asteroid station just in case I have to go back.
4, 3, 2, 1.
S- Tomorrow, I'm probably not going to be able to play at all.
Yeah, you said you were getting in late. If you want to
Yes.
park Dana on Herschel that's sitting over there, it's probably only one jump from that system, and I'm going to leave it there until the CG concludes anyways, so it's a free ride back to the squadron.
No, I'm already logged out. I'm in the in the exogene.
Okay, and the asteroid.
Yeah. Because I'm worried more about Tranquilla being left on the wrong one. I just want her in the other one. Because I'm not going to be, I won't get home till 10 p.m. tomorrow. So,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, probably ought to get that one switched over then.
yeah.
Worst case scenario, I can leave Herschel sitting there an extra day until you get a chance to move.
Frameshift drive charging.
Rob, you talking about the Kestrel? Because the Kestrel has been a blast. I'm actually kind of itching to do some more Kestrel combat. I probably won't, though. If I do some combat while I'm here with Jim, it'll probably be in my Federal Assault ship just to try that cockpit in VR. Plus, Jim's Kestrel is out in the DW3 fleet. And I could sell it and redeploy it because it is an ARC ship, but then I would lose what's on it. And I honestly don't remember what I've got installed on it right now.
Housekeeping complete.
And I don't want to chance losing modules I need if I want to switch out of the Caspian. Like if I've got, you know, something like a good frameshift drive or something engineered on there, I'd be upset if I accidentally sold that. But the Kestrel is a blast. I guess I could always put one together here in the bubble. Jim's got a lot more engineering materials than Astrid does, so I could probably throw something together. That's the problem I have with over-the-ear earphones, man. My ears start sweating. It's like when I shave the mustache and I can feel sweat beading up on my lip. It's such a strange feeling because I've had so little of my lifetime I've had with no hair up there. It's weird. I don't do well without facial hair. She flies too good. I can see that. It is the first ship I think I've seen with a bit of a skill floor rather than a skill ceiling. Like any Joe Blow can fly it and be okay, but to really maximize how broken that ship is, you have to be a damn good pilot. I'm not there. I'm good enough to use it to pretty good effect, but I'm certain in a PvP situation I would get absolutely spanked by somebody that halfway knew what they were doing. Am I really down to... Oh no, there's... Ooh! I'm going to be at this for a minute. Actually, I think that's the chain, so I don't need to worry about that. I guess I should start paying attention to who the architect is. Okay, Cosmic Quill's one of ours. Who's this? Messy Dragon's ours. He did both of them. Stems. Still need to do stems. So let's do that and then pop up get those two. Trying to do this in a semi-orderly fashion.
Frameshift drive charging.
Just because I'm tired of leaving the Herschel stuck at the star. She's definitely got drifter slop. I think you need to dirty drag drive those engines another grade or two. There is definitely a point where it gets slippery. I never did like that though. I know in the Chieftain slides around a little bit. The Fast isn't too bad about it. I think the worst is the FDL. The FDL does more drifting than it does driving. Which, if you've adapted your combat style, it's extremely effective, don't get me wrong. It's just not my cup of tea. Alright, let's get Dragon now. This is very much busy work, but it needs done.
Charging. Four, three, two,
Yeah. Well, and Felicity can only get you up to drive 3. Or dirty or clean grade 3 with the drag experimental. I think I'm only running grade 2s on my all.
fuel scooping.
But the problem on her is always engineering materials, because I already grind them on this character. I don't really want to grind them on my alt any more than necessary, so I'm kind of just doing enough to keep the character functional for squad events. I went, I think it was Tuesday night, Monday night or Tuesday night, before I was actively doing overtime. I went and unlocked Dweller so I could work on the burst lasers I've got on my Panther for that, because we were running into some pirates. Just hauling colony materials, and there was a pirate down there shooting us on the landing pad. Did not bode well.
Fuel scooping complete.
I did some combat in the Chief. It's not my favorite. Honestly, I don't like the cockpit, is what it is for me. I don't. It's very Diamondback-esque. It's just different enough that it bothers me. I'm not sure why. Because I don't mind the Diamondback cockpit, but I do not like the Chieftain. I don't like any of the C-Series ships' cockpits. But it is an excellent hull tank. That's the same way I flew it. Loaded up with armor reinforcements, and I think at the time I had collector limpets on there too, because I was also using it to grind manufactured mats. Because that was before I kind of discovered that you're supposed to do that through emissions and trading, and not necessarily through combat. Still a viable way to get them. Who's that? Oh, that's Trank System. Let's do that one.
Frameshift drive charging.
Admittedly, I have not spent very much time in the GAL map, kind of getting the mental layout of our squadron in my head yet. I think the most combat I've done is probably in the Federal Assault Ship. That was kind of my bread and butter for a while. But I suspect it'll be the Kestrel from now on. I've had so much fun in that ship. Until they release something else. I still think we're getting a large combat ship this year. Probably something to rival the Anaconda, or maybe even the Corvette.
Fuel scooping complete.
Honestly, I know it would make a lot of people mad. I would be okay if they started introducing ships that required rank grind in Alliance. Which one what?
Oh, this 98. It's 98. The one that's mine that has the one that has the Dodec is 99.
Ah, I see what you're saying. I got it. I actually haven't visited that station yet, so I'm going to pop over there when I get there.
Someone else has
Mock chicken that sent you
someone
flying.
else has a Dodec, and I meant to visit it to see who the tech brokers were.
I think it was probably Messy Dragon. I already went through his systems, though.
Do you know
Yeah.
who his tech broker was?
I didn't stop at the station. It may have populated to Inara by now.
That's true.
Let's see. What do I want? Outfitting, I think. Stations near that system. Services. Technology broker.
There's, I think
Looks like they're all going to be human, because I see a bunch, and they all appear to be, yeah, they're all on Dodec stations, so it looks like the only broker you get is the human tech broker. That's unfortunate.
mine's is Guardian.
Yours is Guardian?
Yes. So that's good. It's different types of.
So I searched based off the Squadron Emporion, and it was, I've got like a couple within 15 light years. I assume those are within our group. But they're all showing human type for the broker, unless it's just bugged and it's reported as a human regardless of what it is on a colonized station. That would be kind of weird. Not out of the realm of possibility, though.
Unless something changed.
Well, now that I'm looking down this list, your station's not in it. So maybe it hasn't populated through yet. Or was Tranquil Seas originally Nikaya Vision by any chance?
Was it in what?
Was it Nikaya Vision before you renamed it?
Oh, I don't remember what it was called. It might have been.
That's in Sinew FANTO D799 with an agriculture and tourism economy. So I'm wondering if that was the original name. Yeah, that's probably what it was. It's listing your broker as human, so maybe it's just bugged how it reports to an ARA.
We'll check to see what it is.
Yeah, I'm flying over.
Maybe it changed.
Yeah, Rob, that'll do it. It's a little bit like doing the math when you first hear that the equivalent mass of a glass of water could power London for a week or something. You start working out the energy calculation. It can, in fact, it boggles the mind. Yeah, I had a couple of those Crispies, though. I had a couple launch me off. It's not very consistent, because I definitely got hit by debris and didn't go flying, but there were 2 or 3 that absolutely launched me. One of them before I was streaming, because I was over there doing a little grinding ahead of time just to get the loop down. Been a long time in deep space doing nothing but scanning plants. Shooting at them was something different.
Sorgon Peterson, Juliet India Mike. Welcome to this Imperial facility. We are delighted to receive you.
Let's manually dock this one. I haven't done that in a minute.
Permission has been approved.
I'll scratch
Please
the
set
paint
course
on my
to docking
station.
bay 10.
I haven't seen it in a while.
Not even a nudge.
has the farms. That's nice.
Yeah, it's a real neat interior. I kind of dig it.
Landing gear deployed.
You are on deck. Begin lockdown.
It is a human tech broker.
That's interesting because it used to be Guardian.
I wonder if they're all overridden to human after the server tick. I didn't know you could get an interceptor bobblehead with in-game items and unlock it at the tech broker. Now I have to go do that. Well, I guess you would need the Thargoid heart, and that's going to be hard to come by. Well, I think I am going to call it there, folks. We've been at it for a hot minute.
Are tech brokers different? Aren't there different ones?
They may sell different things. I can't remember. I haven't dealt with the human tech brokers much. I'm kind of running out of steam here, at least for being entertaining, so I think we'll call it there. I'm just going to spend the rest of the evening here jumping around and getting the lay of the rest of these systems so that I've got somewhere to jump the carrier that makes sense. And then we'll see what the week brings. I should be streaming again tomorrow. I don't know what time. And one way or another, I'll see you guys back in here. You know all the things. Hit like on the way out, that sort of thing. And I'll throw Discord and the squad link back in there again. Just in case there's anybody out there that needs a home, we always take you. We don't, we're not too fussy about your past mistakes. We'll definitely give you a home and a group to play with. We're pretty active. But that's going to be it for me tonight, folks. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. And we'll catch you next time.